Good evening. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is doing well. Give it a second to let YouTube catch up here. How is everybody's week going? Let me fix this here. There we go. So I can see what I got going on. All right, there we go. Welcome in. How's everybody's Wednesday going? We just got back from Icon of the Seas on. We just got back Saturday. We did Star of the Seas, and then we wanted to do Icon again to kind of have a comparison. So kind of see both of them. We went on Icon like a year and a half ago, but we wanted to do it again just because we just went on Star to kind of compare the two to see where start differences. Was there anything really really different about the ships? So we got to see all of that. We're going to talk about that for a little bit, answer some questions, and then I'm going to give away some memberships as well at some point throughout the stream. Probably give it a few minutes here. We're going to give away some memberships. This is going to be our last weekly live stream that we're going to be doing for a while. I got some other things I'm trying to concentrate on with the long form videos and the shorts and stuff. So this is gonna we'll still do the lives. We'll do them for like when we go on the ships. We'll still be doing live streams from the ships, stuff like that. And then down the road we will be doing like Q&A videos occasionally as well. But this is going to be our last weekly on a regular basis that we're going to be doing. Just because we want to concentrate on more so on the videos, more so on doing shorts and doing the long form videos. That is kind of time consuming. So I want to really pour everything into those videos and making those videos the best that I possibly can for everybody. So I think that's going to be our concentration moving forward as of for right now. Maybe after the first of the year, when things change a little bit, possibly we might get back into doing a like maybe a monthly or something like that, a live stream monthly. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, but let's go ahead and let me give out some of these memberships. I don't know if it's going to let me give out more than 5 in one stream, but see, we got Savannah, Rostro, Marjorie, Keisha, and Sherman with the gifted memberships. So there we go. Let's see if it'll let me. I don't know if it's going to let me do more. Let me see. Yeah, send 5 now. Let's send another 5. Why not? Let's get all of them out there. Got Kristen, Monkey Love Travel, Nina, Kenna, and Dre as well. So there we go. 3-month membership. We just posted a members only video yesterday as well from when we were on Icon. We posted that last night. It was of Rover riding the carousel. We were lucky enough. We were down in the Surfside neighborhood, and I had just gotten on the carousel, and we seen Rover go around, and the handler was putting Rover on the carousel. So we got some footage of that, which was pretty cool to see as well. So let's talk. Again, at any time, if you have any questions, feel free to throw those in the chat. We'll try to answer them as much as possible. But let's do like comparison. So Icon of the Seas, Icon and Star, the 2 biggest cruise ships in the world. What was different? So we went on Star. We went on Icon a year and a half ago. We went on Star about a month ago. And then 17 days after we got off Star, we went back on Icon. And like I say, and the reason we did that, I knew with Star coming out, it was going to be similar to Icon, but it was hyped up a lot as well. Not as much as Icon, but it was hyped up. So I wanted to go back on Icon to kind of see, was there a big difference? And the short answer is no. The short answer is no. So we only did 4 nights on Star. So it's kind of hard to compare because we did only see it for 4 nights, and some of the shows were preview shows. See, we got Marjorie in here. Hey, Miss Marjorie, how are you? Welcome in. Glad you came and stopped by. Thank you for the 1 month free member. You are welcome. You are welcome. So I wanted to dump out all 10 of the memberships because, like I said, this is going to be our last Q&A live stream for a while. We're not going to be doing the weekly live streams for a while. We're going to kind of focus more so on just our videos for a little while. Kind of leave live streams for just when we're on the ship and stuff like that for a little bit. Kind of just want to focus somewhere else. But Keisha, hello as well. Hello. Hope you are doing well. So start differences from Star of the Seas and Icon of the Seas. I think now we only saw the preview shows on Star of the Seas. I will say this: these shows, the shows that are on Star of the Seas, while the shows on Icon are absolutely amazing, they're by no means not very good shows or anything like that. We actually did a backstage tour of the theater area on Icon of the Seas, and it's absolutely amazing as well. But these shows on Star of the Seas are top notch. Not saying the ones on Icon aren't, but I'm just saying the ones on Star of the Seas were definitely a step above what Icon was. Just the Back to the Future show was amazing, and the Aqua show, oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. By far the best of any shows I've ever seen on any cruise I've ever been on. So I think that was the biggest difference that I noticed from the two. Stop in, left a light late in the UK. We'll watch replay. Lee, I appreciate you coming by, sir. Hope you have a good evening. Get your rest. But yeah, so those are the biggest differences I saw were the shows. And number 2, I would say food items. So if now that I've went on both of them in a 3-week period, okay, I can kind of tell you they're the exact same ship. Which one would I pick if I had the chance to pick another ship to go back on it again? I would pick Star of the Seas. If I had the chance to go back on Icon, would I go on Icon again? Absolutely. It's a very close second. The only reason I would pick Star of the Seas over Icon was, like I said, I feel the shows were a step up from Icons. The Back to the Future and the Aqua show Torque was absolutely amazing. And we only saw previews. We did not see the full production nonstop. They were just amazing. And then the food items on that I think they added to Star of the Seas, mainly for me, the Pig Out Barbecue in the Aquadome, that was enough to make up the difference for me. If I had a choice, I would pick Star of the Seas. With that being said, I would definitely not turn down Icon. Icon, I will say this. Hey, Angie, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. See, scroll through the chat here real quick. Big Murph is here. How are you, Big Murph? Miss Vicky is here as well. Got Marjorie here. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope y'all are doing well. So, yeah, back on kind of what I was touching on, Icon of the Seas to me did not lose any of the luster it had from the first time I went on it over a year ago. It was still just as amazing. It's not like Icon's old now because it's been out a year and a half, and that plays anything into my decision which one I would pick. I would still pick. I would still go on Icon if Star didn't exist, and Icon was just as amazing this trip as it was a little over a year ago when we went on it. So it's not like it's getting old or there's any issues with it. Nothing of that magnitude at all. It was 100% that I just felt the shows on Star of the Seas were just a smidget better, and they had the Pig Up Barbecue that was complimentary in the Aquadome. So those are the main reasons why I would choose Star of the Seas. Now, with that in mind, they're both doing 7-night sailings. Depends on the itinerary. Obviously, Star's going out of Port Canaveral. That's another reason why I would choose it, because it's closer to me. I live in Jacksonville. Miami's still going out of, or Icon's still going out of Miami. Now, My thought process on it is Legend of the Seas next year when it comes out, when it moves to the United States, Legend of the Seas is going to be in Fort Lauderdale. They already laid the kill for the fourth ship. They're already building the fourth Icon class ship. Once Legend floated out, they already started that. So I think, I haven't seen anything. This is not official. This is just my opinion. I think when that fourth Icon class ship comes out, I think the fourth Icon class ship moves to Miami, and then Icon of the Seas moves to Galveston. I really think they want to put an Icon class ship in Galveston. I don't know if Royal Caribbean wants to put their newest, greatest ship in Galveston, if that makes sense. So there's obviously going to be things that are different on the fourth Icon than what they have on Icon. It's going to have upgrades. And it seems to be a running trend that when they have a new ship with new upgrades and new fancy things, they always kind of migrate to like Port Canaveral or Miami area. So I'm guessing that the fourth ship will go to Miami and that Icon will be relocated to Galveston. Just my opinion. It could be totally wrong, but that's just my guess. My guess on Royal Caribbean's history and how they run out new ships and, you know, try to offer them in a different variety, different itineraries. So, which I think people in Galveston would be thrilled to have Icon there. Like I said, Icon was absolutely amazing. We did not want to get off Icon. We didn't want to get off Star, but Icon, that we had a better trip this time on Icon than we did the first time around. And I think part of that is due to we had already been on it once. We went on Icon for 7 nights. So we kind of knew, plus we did the 4 nights on Star like 3 weeks before that. So we kind of knew what to expect on Icon already. So it made that jump a little easier when we got back on Icon. We knew the layout of the ship. We knew our way around where everything was. We already saw Wizard of Oz, so we didn't need to see it again, that kind of thing. So it freed up more time for us to do other stuff and enjoy the ship. So I said when Icon came out that I really, truly felt like you need at least 2 weeks, 14 days to really enjoy that ship. We did 14. We did 7 days a little over a year ago. Now we just did 7, and I think you have to do the 14 days consecutive. I think you have to do them. I think you have to do them together. If you separate them, I still don't think 7 nights wasn't enough. We wanted more. We definitely wanted more. Scotty J, what's up, Scotty? Welcome in. Happy Wednesday, hump day. But yeah, I think that's my take after getting off Icon. That's the kind of our thoughts, our review on it. The staff was amazing. Again, they were amazing the first time. Trying to think. I'm trying to compare the two ships. Trying to compare and think of what else. Other than the food options and the shows, really everything was the same. I will say Icon of the Seas, we liked Surfside area on Icon better. They changed a little bit on it on Star, just mainly in the splash pad that Anaya didn't really care for as much. She said it wasn't as exciting as the one on Star of the Seas. She was 7 when we went on Icon the first time. She just turned 9 when we went on it this time. So pretty close age difference there. And she says Icon's better for the Surfside area, the splash pad and stuff. The base camp area, I will touch on this too, because this was an area when they first came out with Icon. Hold on, I got to take a sip of a drink. So when they first released Icon, base camp had some complimentary items, but then it had a lot of upcharge items. They had like shrimp bao tacos, a couple other items that were additional charge. They don't have that anymore. Cheese curds was one of them. They don't have any of that. So base camp is now 100% complimentary on both Star and Icon. Pier 7 was still on Star. That was all the same. The only other thing that was different was the Supper Club, which we did not do. It's Lincoln Park Supper Club on Star of the Seas, Empire Supper Club on Icon. We didn't do the Supper Club on either. But other than that, the dining venues are pretty much the same. Everything else is the same. Now, this is one thing I don't know. And I totally forgot about this from the first time we went on Icon to the second time. We went to the dinner in the main dining room the first 6 nights of our cruise on Icon. We went to the main dining room, I think all 4 nights on Star. But Star was a inaugural sailing. It was only 4 nights. So on Icon, on the 7-night sailings on Icon, they have something called the Icon menu. Danny, welcome in. How we doing, Danny? Hope you are doing well. Thank you for being here. I apologize if I sound a little funky, y'all. I've been sick all week, trying to get over a cold. But back to the dining room on Icon, they got something called the Icon menu. The Icon is the only ship in the fleet that has that menu. They have lobster night 2 different nights in the main dining room on a 7-night sailing. We had it on night 2 and then night 6. We had it twice. So lobster twice in the main dining room on Icon. No other Royal Caribbean ship has that. I don't know, because Star is an Icon class ship. I tried to ask the head waiter and asked a few of the people on Icon, and they didn't know either. We didn't have it twice on Star, but we were only on a 4-night sailing. So I don't know if the 7-night sailings on Star of the Seas will have the Icon menu and have lobster twice in the main dining room. I'm not sure of that. But that's something to keep an eye out and to look for if you're planning on booking either one of those ships. I guess I would have to call. I don't have anybody I got booked on Icon right now or Star. I don't have anyone booked on either one of those ships right now. But if you wanted to book, I would definitely call and ask that ahead of time. I might just call them tomorrow just to get clarification on that. But because I know everybody likes their lobster. I'm not a lobster fan. I don't eat lobster, but everybody else likes it. So Cole was getting them 2 at a time. So they have the main dining room also to where they limit 1 lobster per person. It was me, Cole, and Anaya, and me and Anaya didn't eat lobster. And the server was hilarious, and he asked me, because he knew I was a vlogger and he knew I was recording stuff. And after I recorded when he got lobster the first night, the server brought him 2 lobster tails and gave Cole 2 of them at one time. And I vlogged it, and then the server comes up to me, and he's like, Mr. Barry, can I ask you a favor? And I'm like, sure, anything. He's like, can I ask you not to share that on social media, because we're not allowed to take 2 at a time. He's like, I only did it because you didn't order one, so I gave Cole yours. Of course, I'm on social media right now. I'm not going to say the guy's name or blast him or anything like that, because I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But they will bring you more than one, because then later on they brought an additional one. So you can get more than 1 lobster. Most of the times they don't want you to order more, but the staff will bring you extra if they have extra available, if that makes sense. They had plenty of lobster. Like I said, me and Anaya didn't even eat it. It's just they don't want – people were taking advantage of the lobster when they would go in and order 6 and 7 lobster tails. So that's why they started limiting it to 1. But they will bring you more. You can have more than 1. You just can't have more than 1 at a time, if that makes sense. That was the way the server explained it to us. Randy, how we doing, sir? Good evening. I hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday. But yeah, so that's the rundown on lobster on Icon. We went to where'd we go? We went to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Roatan, Honduras, and Perfect Day, Coco Cay. Those were our 4 stops, and we had 2 sea days in there as well. So Costa Maya, we didn't do any excursions. We just got off and walked around the ship. We were supposed to do the Sloss in Roatan, but we decided to cancel. We decided not to do it. We just wanted to enjoy the ship, so we just got off the port and walked in the port area. Cozumel, we didn't even get off the ship. Costa Maya, we did just walk the port area. I wanted to see if they started construction on Perfect Day, Mexico. I could not see visible construction anywhere from where the cruise ships docked. I was up on the top deck of the ship looking, and I could not find it from the top deck of the ship, nor from the port area in Costa Maya. So I don't know if they've broken ground yet on Perfect Day Mexico, but we could not see it if they had. And then Perfect Day at Coco Cay, we got off for a little bit. We went to the splash pad, and I wanted to do the big splash pad there. And then it started to, there was lightning. It never rained. Never rained the whole time, but there was lightning. So they shut down the splash pad. So we just went back to the ship early to enjoy the ship there as well. So most of the time we spent on the ship, other than a little bit in Roatan, we got off the port area. Which, by the way, I was watching Chet's channel from Sea Lake Journeys, and he had talked about a guy that's there in Costa Maya that does he does spray paint art. We went by there, and the stuff he had was really, really cool, y'all. So if you're into like spray paint art and stuff like that, his booth was kind of like in the corner area, but really cool stuff out there to see from him as well. I didn't buy anything this time, but I definitely will when I go back. He's a real nice guy. He sat there and chatted with us for a few minutes, but yeah, definitely check him out in Costa Maya. But like I said, we just stayed right inside the port areas on the ship. We didn't venture out into the cities or anything. We had Anaya with us, and Anaya wanted to stay on the ship. I don't even think she got off the ship in port. So when me and Cole got off, I didn't want to venture too far from the ship. I wanted to make sure I stayed within the port vicinity, in case the kids club called or there was an issue or something like that. So we just stayed right there close by the port. Enjoyed the ship, all of the amenities it had. If you go on Star of the Seas or Icon of the Seas, the Cloud 17 swimming pool, there was one day on the ship, it was a sea day, I think it was day 2 or day 6, where we went down to the Surfside neighborhood, and it was a sea day, and Surfside was just packed. Obviously, the kids, there's a sea day, there's nowhere else for them to go. That's the kids' neighborhood, and that's where all the kids were. They were in Surfside. So Anaya wanted to go swimming, so we went up to Cloud 17. And it was busy. And when I say busy, it had maybe 12 people in the pool. That's busy for Cloud 17. Cloud 17 is a forgotten about pool. Nobody goes up there. It's on the 17th deck. It's kind of hidden on the one side. There's only one side of the pool deck to access it. That deck doesn't go all the way around. So that's definitely a secret area. If you ever go on Icon or Star, definitely check out the Cloud 17 pool. I'm trying to think what else. Does anybody have any questions regarding either ship, Star, Icon, any of the venues? The one thing I didn't like, I'll say this, and again, on Star of the Seas, we didn't realize as much because we were only there 4 days, and I was trying to do a lot of filming and stuff, so I didn't enjoy all of the venues as much. But one thing I did not like on Icon is that the pub singer, the piano, the live music and boleros, and the piano player in the Schooner Bar, there was 1 or 2 nights they all stopped by 10 o'clock at night. After 10 o'clock at night, there was no live music. There was a party a couple of nights on the promenade where they got, the balloon drop and stuff like that. But as far as live music goes, there was a couple of nights after 10 o'clock at night where the promenade just had no live music. I was not a fan of that. I love going to the pub and listening to the pub. The jazz bar that was down in Central Park area was amazing. The dueling pianos, definitely got to do dueling pianos, y'all. Definitely got to do dueling pianos. If there was one knock on Royal Caribbean, and this was on both ships, this was on Star of the Seas and on Icon, because we went to dueling pianos on both. If there's one knock I have on what they're doing in dueling pianos, number one, the piano players are amazing. They're awesome. It's a fun time. They get the crowd engaged and going. If I have one complaint, it's at the very beginning of the show, every single night on both ships, you can put in requests for songs. They come around and they leave the papers on your tables, and you can put in a request. Well, then after the show starts, they'll start off the show and they'll hold up 2 requests. They'll hold up a request paper, and then they'll hold up a request paper that's got money attached to it. And the guy will literally say, the guy or the girl will literally say, This is a suggestion, the one without the money. The one with the money, that's a request. If you want to hear your song played, we suggest doing a request. I don't like that. And I don't like that to the extent of when I go to watch live music, I'm that guy. I tip the pub player every time I go and listen to the pub player. If I put in a request, they always play it. I tip them more. Same thing at the Schooner Bar with the piano player, Belair. Anywhere I go, there's live music. I'm always tipping the live entertainers. It's just something I do. I'm not gonna. It's something I enjoy doing. It's a tip because I appreciate good music. But when the performers on both ships blatantly ask for it ahead of time, I think that's wrong. They're paid okay money. Yes, they should get tips, but the begging and pretty much telling people they have to tip to request a song, I think that's wrong. I think it's a money grab. I'm not a fan of money grabs. So if there's one knock on both those ships, I'd say that was it. I think they need to do something with dueling pianos and stop allowing the performers to do that. People are going to tip anyway, but at both times we went in the bars, as soon as they say that, you'll see a few people get up and pilfer out. Because some people just don't like that. They don't like the begging of it. It's a complimentary venue. It's meant to be complimentary, so I don't feel like you should be forced to tip money. If you're telling people to put in requests, let them put in requests. And then if you want to get to the people who tip first, that's fine, but you don't have to. I don't feel like that has to be mentioned or that has to be said out loud to kind of throw in the face of the people that don't tip. I don't know. I felt that was wrong. And that's from a tipper's perspective. So, Scott, how we doing, Scott? Welcome in. You're joining me in the middle of my rant about tipping. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Other than that, both ships, like I said, were amazing. So that's a little bit on the review side. I haven't really seen a whole lot of questions about any of it in the chat. So I'm going to kind of move forward to Shay. Welcome in. Good evening. I'm going to move forward to future plans a little bit. So when we were on the ships, I tried to do a live stream from both ships. I did. We were successful. We did, a couple of live streams from both Icon and Star. I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit on the weekly live streams, the weekly Q&A live streams. I'm going to pump the brakes on that for a little bit. And what I mean by pump the brakes is tonight's going to be our last weekly Q&A live stream. I know I kind of touched that at the beginning of the stream, but I kind of want to roll into what our plans are long term. So we will still be doing live streams. Will we do them? Yes. When are we going to do those? Number one, if we are on a ship. If we're on a ship, we're going to go live from the ship. Number two, special occasions. I might, after the first of the year, when things change a little bit, personally, when things change, like I said, it has nothing to do with the live streams, nothing to do. It's just it's a personal stuff going on that's making me make this decision as well as some analytics from YouTube. So we're not going to be doing the weekly live streams, but we will do occasional live streams. Maybe after the first of the year, we'll do like a monthly Q&A or something, but we'll still do a live stream from the ships when we go live. We're going over Halloween on Brilliance. We'll be doing a live stream on that ship. But I want to focus on the long form video aspect. When I first started YouTube, long form videos is what I wanted to do. That was my passion for starting YouTube. It's been a long journey. It's been a stop and go journey. I've had to stop for a couple times for personal reasons. I finally got it kicked back off going again. Started cruising a lot this year to try to get that footage to be able to kick that back off again. I'm starting to do shorts. I've just been pumping out a few shorts the last couple of days as well. That's new to us. We never did shorts before, prior to about a month and a half ago. So that's something new that we're doing as well. But the long form videos is what I have a passion for. It's what I want. That's the content that I appreciate because that's the content that I watch when I'm looking for information on cruises, or I'm looking for a ship, or I'm about to go on a trip and I want to see what the ports are like, or what venues are on the ship, or dining, or stuff like that, I go to long form videos to look for that. So that's kind of where I wanted to grow the channel, to add that additional information and show more of that stuff of what's on the particular ships itself. I don't think I can share that. I can answer questions. So it makes it hard because I was devoting a lot of time to live streams, not really concentrating on the long form videos and the other stuff that I want to do with the channel. And over the course of about the past 2 months, looking at the analytics of stuff, my viewership on my long term videos, my long form videos, has went like way down. And my live stream viewers have went way up. So it's kind of going the opposite direction of where I envisioned the channel to go, if that makes sense. Long form fan here more than live streams. I agree, Nelly. I love watching long form videos. And I'm going to be totally blunt and honest with you. This community that I found, everybody that's in this little closed cruise knit community, that's on here, and I can't say cruise knit because there's people that aren't even cruise channels on here. I've been watching crafting channels, and I've been watching, Savannah's 75 soft day challenge. I watch other videos now because of it, but I found those through live streams. So I'm grateful for live streams, and I don't want to diminish live streams at all. But I just think from my channel's perspective of what I want to concentrate on, I think I want to concentrate less on making sure I'm home every Wednesday at 6 o'clock to run a live stream. And then, coming up with what the conversation topic is going to be. It's always going to be a Q&A. Whenever I do live stream, all my live streams will be Q&A because I want to answer people's questions. Because that's why I started YouTube, was to answer people's questions that they didn't know, they didn't have an answer to. So that's what I'm always going to do. But the live stream was just taking a lot of commitment, a lot of time away. And I've been on YouTube, y'all, for a long time, longer than most. That's at I'm at 800 subscribers. Most people that's been on as long as me are already monetized. It's because I had to take a break for 2.5 years and then another break for a year when COVID happened. So I took a lot of long breaks. So it's I've had some setbacks on the channel growth. But I noticed when I first started YouTube, everybody gets into the sub for sub. Hey, sub to my channel, I'll sub to your channel type of a thing. And I get people now that the YouTube channel, and it's growing. I don't want to knock live streams and say it's not growing because of live streams. That's not it at all. It's just my long form videos aren't growing as much as I'm not putting the effort of the time into them that I want to. That's the main reason. I need to concentrate more time on that. So it's nothing else. It's not on anybody else. It's on me. But my point I was trying to make is people ask me, well, how do you grow on YouTube? And a lot of people will do the, hey, sub for sub, where you go to these platforms and, I'll sub to your channel. You sub to my channel. Stuff. We'll help each other get to 1,000. I dove a lot into analytics on YouTube. I dive a lot into the algorithm, just like everybody does when they start. And I kind of want to point something out here. I'm going to get through the chat real quick here. It's a tough decision, Barry, but honestly, a bad move. Can't wait to see more long form. Yeah, and it's not like I'm never going to do live streams again. I'll still do them from the ship. And maybe after the first of the year, once some personal stuff calms down for me, I'll have a little bit more personal time. I'll be able to do more. But I got to do one or the other right now. I got to free up a little bit of, how do I word this? I got to put my full focus in my long-term videos. I'm very non-tech savvy, y'all. I'm not a tech person at all. And I really need to learn more editing skills and stuff like that. And by doing that, I got a whole slew of videos I just got from Icon of the Seas. And I really want to dive into the editing and learn. Even if it's just this video, I want to learn one new thing. Next video, I want to learn one new thing. I really want to dive into that and learn that side of the editing and the stuff for long-term videos. That's what I'm saying. Maybe after the first of the year, maybe after I learn more of that stuff, it'll free up a little bit more time. But doesn't it get time consuming to do live shows? Got to do this and do that. Yes, Nelly. Yes. And that's the main reason why I want to kind of pump the brakes on live shows. And to be honest, part of the other reason, like I was saying, I was trying to get into the YouTube analytics. If you do sub for sub with people, like you go into you go into just somebody's random room and you say, "Hey, I subscribe. Would you mind subbing to mine?" Or there's actual platforms out there that you can find links if you do a Google search that'll sub for sub on YouTube. I tried that at the very beginning when I started this channel, and it was a disaster, y'all. I watch Sherman's show all the time, and they talk about things to do when you're starting a YouTube channel, and I don't think this one gets talked about enough. Don't do that. Do not do sub for sub. And the reason I want to tell you all that, and it's not, sub for sub is not the same thing as joining a community. So I want to be honest about that. It's nothing like this community that I found now with, everybody that's in here, Liz, Chris, Scott, I could go on the whole list of everybody in the cruise community. All of y'all know who you are. That's nowhere near what I'm talking about when I mean sub for sub. I mean platforms where all you do is sub to people to exchange subs. And what essentially happens is you go to put up a long form video. So what YouTube looks at when you put a long form video up, YouTube looks at, number one, are your subscribers watching that video? If they do, and in the first hour it's up, your click-through rate is 20% and all of your subscribers love it, guess what YouTube's doing? They're jamming that video out there to everybody else. But if you have 100 subscribers and only 2 of your subscribers watch that video in the first 3 hours it's up, guess what YouTube's not doing? They're not sharing that video. So it can get kind of dangerous doing the sub for sub. So just as that's probably the question that gets asked for me the most, is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I started YouTube. That was the biggest mistake I made. Also, part of the reason I want to slow down the live streams a little bit is because with me having a focus on long form videos, every time I do a live stream, if you're subscribed to my channel and you go to YouTube and you scroll through your suggested list, guess what video it's going to show you? If I posted a long form video on Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday night I put up a live stream video, and then Thursday morning you go on YouTube, you're going to see that live stream. You're going to see my latest video suggested to you. You're not even going to see the long form video. So that plays into it as well. That plays into part of my decision as well. Just wanting to focus on the long form stuff. So Nelly, you really don't have to do that, but I agree. I'm a big long form fan, but also I did want to mention, just because I'm slowing down my channel and doing live streams does not mean that I'm not going to be on everybody else's live streams and chats. I'm definitely going to be in everybody else's rooms whenever I can. I work nights now. I work weekends and crazy night hours. So it makes it harder for me to be in everybody's chat every night. But on the nights I'm off, I definitely will still be in everybody's chats, watching replays of their live streams and stuff like that. So that's not going to change. That is not going to change for sure. And like I said, we will do live streams. It's just going to be on a special occasion. Like if we are on a ship, or if we're planning a new group cruise, which I'm about to touch on, y'all. I got some exciting news I want to touch on about that as well. Not a group cruise in the way you're going to expect it, to where you got to book through a travel agent for a travel agent to make the money or whatever, the commissions. Nope, that's not how we're doing it. It's going to be a fundraiser, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. How hard is it for one to record a video? I have 2 I've been sitting on for 2 weeks. Are you talking about like ship vlogs, Scott? I mean, it's very time consuming when I'm on the ship to do videos. For ship tours, I combine about 8 hours worth of walking around and footage in to make a ship tour video at a minimum. When we went on Icon, I'm trying, when my Icon vlogs come out, everybody will see it as well. I'm trying something different. Not only am I doing the ship tour and the food options tour and a daily vlog of just what we're doing randomly throughout the day and at the ports, but I'm also going to be adding spotlight videos. So I did all that filming as well. So when I go on a trip, 90% of my time is 10% is working my travel agency, 10% is relaxing, and 80% is vlogging, if I'm being quite honest with how my typical day on a cruise ship looks. There's nothing wrong with the pivot. Nothing wrong with the pivot. Like, come on, hit the record button, Scott. No, standalone videos like you're talking about, long form, informational, educational videos. So I used to do cruise news videos. Like right after COVID happened is when we first started the channel. But I was doing cruise news videos, but what I noticed, there's a lot of negative stories. I didn't like the way it was going. I didn't want to be that guy spreading negative cruise love. Because when I meet people and tell them how great cruising is, I don't want them to turn around and watch my video of me bashing a cruise line for doing this or bashing a cruise line for doing that. Or, I didn't want to do the negativity of the fights on cruises, or did y'all see what happened? The slide broke on Icon, or I don't want to cover negativity on the channel at all anymore, like none whatsoever, because I feel like that doesn't help cruising. If people are new to cruising and they're looking through YouTube and watching these vlogs and all they see is negativity and all this bad stuff happening on cruise ships, which first of all happens 100 times more than that on land. But I'm just saying, if all they see is negative about cruise ships, they're never going to take that leap. They're never going to, don't take that in the wrong way. That wasn't a pun, take the leap off the ship. No, that's not what I meant. But I'm saying they're never going to take that step to get onto a ship because all they see is negativity about it. I've been sick the last 3 days. We got off Icon on Saturday. I've been sick since I got off. This is, of all the cruises I've been on, this is the second time I got sick. The first time was during COVID. I had got bronchitis when I got off the ship, but can you get sick on a cruise ship? Yes, but I don't want to share all that negativity because the vacation outweighed the bad. I could have got sick sitting at home. My kids were all sick 3 weeks before we went on the cruise. So it's like, I don't want to be that negative guy. But the informational videos, like experiences of where you went, stuff like that, to where I see some people will do those videos where they're at home and they just got all this footage and they're talking about the different ports. They'll do spotlights on ports and stuff. Those types of videos are great. If that's something, Scott, you want to do, absolutely do it. I get exactly what you're talking about, exactly what you're meaning. Not cruise logs. This is how I look at content. Experience, vlogs, education, standalone entertainment, lives. Yep. So, no, I mean, listen, I know some people on YouTube that do live streams and that's all they do is live streams, and they're very successful doing that. Very successful. And I'm not trying to put a knock. I'm not going to knock on live streams or say live streams are bad. They're not. They helped my channel? Absolutely. This is just a personal choice of mine of mainly time management and where I want the channel. I have a 2.5 month backlog of vlogs now. I haven't even posted the Freedom of the Seas vlog that I went on back in May. I still got lined up to come out over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Then I got all the Icon videos. Then I'm going on Brilliance next month. So I have all this footage to put out, and I just haven't had time to put it out because it's a time management thing most of all. So I analyzed. When I make a decision on something, I don't just jump into it and be like, oh, I'll make a rash decision. I put a lot of thought and analytics into it and kind of think what's best, look at the history of what's worked for me, what hasn't, and kind of base it off that. So that's kind of where we're at right now. All right, so let me check my messages real quick. Sierra's mom tried calling me. I'll make sure it's not an emergency. Okay, can I take Anaya to school tomorrow? Yes, simple answer. Done. All right, so The 19th, Nelly. I can look it up. I can look it up. I don't know if it'll tell me my past cruises in the app. I can look it up. I don't. That was pretty close. That was pretty close, Nelly, to the time we were on Freedom. It was just me and Anaya. And it was a short 3-day weekend cruise. I took her pretty much just to get away. She was going through some things in life, and I kind of wanted to take her and spend some time with her. As a father-daughter trip. Y'all, that's something I wanted to mention too. I saw this on Icon in Music Hall. I think it was the second to last night of the cruise. I was on a sea day. During the afternoon time in Music Hall, they had a father-daughter line dance class, not just line dance, but it was a dance class for father-daughters. And then later that night, they had a father-daughter dance party. I thought that was awesome. I want to see more stuff like that on the ship. That's the kind of stuff that I think it was a hit. There were a bunch of people that showed up to it. And I used to take Sierra before she had her accident. We go to the father-daughter dance at her school that her school put on every year here. So stuff like that I think is a really cool idea. It gets families more engaged and stuff like that. So let me see. Past cruises, Nelly. I went on Beyond, then Freedom, Beyond, way better. You're talking Celebrity Beyond? So I still want to do Celebrity. I've done tours of Celebrity, but I have not sailed on Celebrity. So we were on May 9th through May 12th is when we were on Freedom. So we got off a week before you got on, I guess. All right, y'all. So I want y'all's honest opinions on this, because me and Sierra have been talking about this now, and I'm gonna give a little background of what we're talking about, because I know maybe not everybody knows the background on this, so I'm going to give a little bit of a background. In November of 2021, Sierra was in a car accident that left her paralyzed. After she was paralyzed, she's confined to a wheelchair, got out of rehab and all that, and kind of learned how to live her life in a wheelchair. Well, the one great thing that she's found love in since then is basketball. She's on a wheelchair basketball team with the rehab team here. She's gone to state tournaments. She's planning for college. She goes every year to the Alabama summer camp for wheelchair basketball and all of this stuff. Well, Sierra's second year in basketball, she was fortunate enough to be the benefit of a fundraising community that did a golf fundraiser that bought her wheelchair basketball chair. And I don't expect anybody to know any of this information. Those wheelchair basketball chairs, that's a car. That's not an expensive car, but you're talking $8,000 to $10,000 minimum. Bottom end of what they need. It's got to be custom fit. There's a lot that goes into these wheelchair basketball chairs. Well, on a few weeks ago, on way to her practice one night on a Thursday night, we were talking about it, and I told her, I said, well, wouldn't it be cool to invite all of the kids on your team and just do a charity event, because wheelchair basketball is huge. We could do a charity event on the cruise ship. They all have full-size basketball courts. Most of them do now, the newer ones anyway, and do like a mini basketball tournament / fundraiser, something like that for wheelchair basketball. This could not have slapped me in the face any harder that night, y'all. We literally go to her basketball practice, and at her basketball practice that night, we find out that the people that run the golf charity that bought Sierra's wheelchair basketball chair for her, this year is the last year they're doing it. They're not doing it after this year. Every year they buy a kid one of those chairs. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. A lot of people can't afford that kind of money. A lot of people don't have 10 grand sitting around so their kid can play wheelchair basketball. And these tournaments, they travel all over the place. As soon as he said it was the last year, we drove home from basketball. I told Sierra, I said, that's a slap in the face right there, isn't it? She's like, what do you mean? I said, literally, that slapped me in the face and said, we were literally just talking about doing some type of fundraiser event. And then we find that out 2 hours later. And now next year, there's not going to be a kid on one of the teams that gets a chair that needs a chair. So I'm starting to put together, I'm going to put together a cruise vacation. It's going to be 100% fundraiser. 100%. I got to get with the company, the cruise line company, because I'm going to set it up as a fundraiser and try to get them to chip in as well. But I'm going to set it up, and we are going to try to raise enough money, and I'm going to do it on an annual basis. But it's going to change. It's going to change yearly. It's going to be on different ships. It could be different companies. Hell, one year we could do a cruise down to the Dominican and then stay at a resort in the Dominican for 4 days and catch a cruise back. I don't know. There's endless options. But me and Sierra are in talks. We're putting it together. We're going to plan it. That's also part of the reason I wanted to pump the brakes on the live streams a little bit, to give me a little bit more open up time to help do this. Because I feel like this is more of a benefit, could help somebody else more. So as soon as we get more details about that, if you have any input about doing a fundraiser cruise, I'm all ears. We're going to spread it out to the community that she's a part of for her basketball. I'm going to spread it out to the community here. I'm going to make YouTube videos about it and shorts about it, and we're going to try to get it. My goal is, if we can generate enough money just to buy one kid a chair every year that needs that chair, $8,000 is not a lot to raise. It's a lot, but it's not an astronomical amount when you're talking about annually. So, Steven, how are you? Welcome in. So yeah, that's kind of what we're working on now. Again, part of the reason why we needed to free up some time from the live stream. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to, we're going Brilliance of the Seas up to Canada and New England, me and my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter and I, it's been a while. We went back this last January. We went on Utopia. That was the last time I cruised with her. So I'm looking to getting on a cruise with her. I've never cruised over Halloween. I've never been to Canada. I've never been to New England. So I'm super stoked about that. And then devoting more time to the long form videos, and then devoting time to set up this fundraising charity for these, for people that really, really need it. If I never make a penny doing YouTube videos, I could care less, as long as it's helping somebody else. Yeah, that's the plan right now, y'all. So a little bit of review of Star of the Seas, Icon of the Seas, what we thought on it. Both great trips, both exciting. Enjoyed both of them very, very much. Plan of what we're doing moving forward. We'll be doing a live stream from Brilliance of the Seas. Probably won't be Halloween night, y'all. I hate to bust y'all's bubble, but I probably won't be doing the live on Halloween night. Me and my daughter still got to come up with a costume idea to match on the ship. So we'll be coming up with something for sure. But I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me tonight. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Other than being on the ship, I had been on the ship the last few weeks. So I haven't really been at home. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us and chilling with us tonight. Yes, Zach is doing a live stream at 7. He definitely is doing a live stream at 7. I will definitely be in there in Zach's room, supporting him. I'll be jumping around trying to support everybody as well. Upcoming vlogs, like I said, finishing up Star of the Seas. I think Saturday is our last Star of the Seas vlog. Then we're going to be rolling into Freedom of the Seas vlogs, and then we're going to be rolling into the Icon of the Seas. I did just post our first only members video. It was a members video of Rover, the dog, the chief dog officer on Icon, riding the carousel. Super cute video. If you haven't seen it yet, if you're a member, definitely go check that out. And then it'll be in our normal daily vlog. Once we get to the icon vlogs, it'll be in there as well. I wanted to release it a little bit early for the members. So with that being said, it's 6:55. So we are going to go ahead and call it a night. I want to get settled in and get ready to hop in there into Zach's room as well. So I appreciate y'all being here. And remember, until next time, if you're not cruising, you're losing, everybody. Have a good night.